For our presentation, we read an article titled, "Do Negative Views of Aging Influence Memory and Auditory Performance Through Self-Perceived Abilities?" This presentation is by Abby, Brooke, Grace, and Maya.
Background and theoretical framework. As people get older, they often have negative views on memory and auditory performance. As people age, they are often associated with their hearing and memory. This association can alter their self-perceptions to make them doubt their abilities and not accurately reflect their actual function. For example, older adults may have negative self-perceptions, and therefore it affects how they function in activities such as communication and social settings. Research questions and hypotheses. Research questions. How does an older adult's view of aging influence their perception of their hearing and memory abilities? Do negative views of aging and perceptions of hearing and memory abilities affect older adults' performance in these two areas? What is the relationship between memory and hearing? Hypothesis. Older adults with negative views of aging and perceptions of their memory and hearing abilities will perform worse on assessments measuring their performance in these areas.
This article examines the social variables that are affecting memory and hearing performances with age. The study 301 older adults, 192 women, 109 men to measure their own views of aging, their abilities, as well as the behavioral tests. All participants were volunteers who responded from an advertisement. Screen testing of hearing, vision, and cognition confirmed that these impairment rates were less than what the general population might have expected about older people.
The author's findings supported the initial hypothesis. To answer the first research question, the results showed that older adults who held negative views of aging had less confidence in their hearing and memory abilities. The researchers also found that, on average, the older the participant, the more negative views of their hearing and memory abilities. For the second research question, the researchers found that participants who had more negative views of aging and perceptions of their hearing and memory abilities performed worse on both the hearing and memory assessments. Finally, the results of this study suggest that hearing is closely related to memory performance. Participants who performed poorly on the hearing assessment proceeded to do poorly on the memory assessment. And the researchers also found that adults who held negative views of their hearing abilities were more likely to hold those same views regarding their memory abilities.
What do the author's findings mean? Older adults that have a negative outlook on aging are more likely to suffer from memory and hearing issues due to how they see themselves during the aging process. Those that face hearing issues are likely to feel embarrassed that they cannot hear well and start to isolate themselves from their social lives. The isolation limits stimulation for the brain, leading to cognitive decline. The stigmas around aging may push people with hearing loss to start the isolation process. Real-world implications. In professions associated with gerontology or the older population, it is important to not generalize societal stereotypes onto patients. This can lead to undermining their capabilities and negatively impacting their perception of themselves. Hearing and memory are strongly impacted by one another, so it is important to advocate to patients the importance of hearing tests and hearing aids to prevent social isolation and mental health issues.
Why might self-perceived ability be an important factor in actual performance on behavioral tests? How might societal attitudes toward aging influence older adults' self-perception and in turn their actual abilities?